So I want to do a YouTube video here, and I just want you to see the 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe here. So I'm sure you guys probably have heard a lot about the 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. This one is not optioned all the way out. It's just you know, it's got cloth interior. It's got the H-Track 4-wheel drive. It's got quite a few options. It's called the SEL Plus. So you know, I'm just gonna try to. I bought this vehicle with like 10,000 miles on it, and I just want to kind of tell you some things that I love about the vehicle and things that I don't like about the vehicle. So right now I have about 33,000 miles. It's been an absolutely reliable vehicle. I haven't had any reliability issues, no problems, no squeaks, no rattles, no kind of issues like that. So when it comes to quality, reliability, I'd say I would say it's A+ so far. So but there's some little quirks about it that make it where I wouldn't buy it again. You know, I could probably recommend it to some people based on what your needs are, but for my needs, I wouldn't buy it again. So let me just see if I can get right into it. So I'll show you a few little things that I kind of find annoying about it, considering how good of a vehicle it is. First of all, I love the size. It's like some of the SUVs are just too small, and the other ones are just too big. And this one seems to be kind of like right in the middle as far as size. Now this, I haven't cleaned it up. It's dirty inside. I'm using it, and that's what I want you to see. I want you to see how it is, you know, being a daily driver for me. It's got a lot of room in the back. That's one thing I really like about it, is how much room it has. And the seats actually will recline here. So just the fact that the seats will recline is something that a lot of these SUVs don't do. They also will slide, you know, like get it slide forward and backwards like that as well, so you can get additional leg room, or you can get additional cargo space depending on what your needs are. So it's just, that is super amazing. I really like that. So let me show you a couple of things I don't like right quick while I'm on this side. This fuel cap door, if you press it, it pops open. And the fuel cap is not a lock-in fuel cap. Back in the day, people would put sugar in the gas, and I don't want to get anybody any more hints other than that, just to sabotage the engine. And there's no way to lock this. Like my Toyota Corolla 2003, it has a lever inside. You have to flip that lever in order to open the gas cap door. That way, if you lock all the doors, no one can access your gas cap. But this way, you can access the gas cap even if the doors are locked. So I just kind of think that's not such a great design. Another little thing, this is a really weird thing, and I'm not going to say even all of them do this, but right here, if you can see it in the video, this piece of chrome trim and this piece of chrome trim, they are very, 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 very close. Very, very, very close. And if you park this car on an uneven surface, there's a little bit of flex in the body. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to do it now. But when I open this door, this actually will contact. You can see how close it is. If I can get it closer, you can see right in here. Let's see if I can get the camera to show it. It's super, super close. Like, it hits that piece of trim literally will hit that. It's just how the car is made. It's so close on both sides. It's not hitting it right now, but it is very, very, very close. And I have heard this actually hit that right there, and there's like a little pop noise you will hear sometimes right there. So to me, it seems like a little flaw with how that is. Again, I'm not going to say all of them are this way, but this one is this way. And then the other thing I don't like coming around the front, I'm not a fan of the front end of pretty much anything Hyundai is making now. I don't like the main headlights being centered so low, and then the daytime running lights are right here. Those are the daytime running lights, and then these are the main headlights. I'm sorry, I didn't have that in there. These are the main headlights, and these are the running lights. And I just don't like how these are centered so low. Like, and the headlights on this car are awful. They are so dim, and it's not really because they're centered so low. It's just very dim brown colored halogen bulbs. I mean, it just looks terrible. I don't like the nighttime driving quality of this car. So that's just my opinion. I think it gets, if you look at the safety ratings when it comes to headlights, it's not great at all. If you get a higher trim line, like the leather interior, the limited model, the headlights I think are considerably better. So probably the number one thing I dislike about this car is you can see right here that I have a seat cover in this car. And this cloth interior, I always put seat covers in my cloth interior vehicles, and you know, you can have a vehicle 10 years, and if you have a seat cover over the cloth, then this cloth will look brand new even 10 years later. So it's a good thing about having cloth seats. However, this seat cover here actually is a heating and warming pad. I got it from a place called the Sharper Image. It was just it's like 50 bucks, and since this car doesn't have heated, it does have heated seats, but since this car doesn't have cooling seats or ventilated seats, I put this pad in there to get that functionality. The prime reason this pad is here, though, is it has some support built into it. And that's what I don't like about this seat right here. When you sit in this seat, when I sit in this seat, I literally will compress this bottom pad so much that the lumbar support no longer is really on my lumbar. It's too high up on my back. And I think Hyundai needs a lesson in how to build seats. I have a Ford F-150, and it's the most comfortable seat in the world. And this area of the seat, when you adjust the lumbar on it, this whole area will uniformly extend out or resets in, and it pushes more on the sides of your back where there's muscle tissue rather than right in the center of your back where your spine is. So if you have a car and if you sit in it and you adjust the lumbar support, you'll notice that some of them feel almost like someone has their fist and just jabbing it up right in the center of your spine. And to me, that's just not comfortable. My Ford F-150, this lumbar support seems to be much wider, and it seems to accentuate pressure on the outer sides of the what's called the lumbar support. It seems to accentuate pressure a lot more there, and it feels more uniform, and it's much more comfortable. I mean, this is why this car kills my back. I literally cannot drive this car more than about 30 minutes before my back is aching. And I don't have the best back in the world, but I really don't have back issues either. Like, I can lift 150 pounds, nothing, you know. I don't have back issues, but this car brings out what little lingering back stiffness I have. It brings it out. So that's why I'm getting rid of this car. That's the primary reason, just simply because of that. So I wish they would address that. So yeah, let me see if I can show you a couple of more things in this car here. This car here, let's see if I can get it in here. So it doesn't have factory navigation. This here is just, it uses Android Auto. Let me see if I can power it on so you can just see what the gauges look like. Let's see here, I got the door open, so it just says vehicle on, and this is how the gauge cluster looks. As you see, I think I told you I had 33,000 miles. It's actually 34,524 miles. Most of this is good. You know, I don't really have a problem with any of this. What I don't like is these controls right here. I don't like to have to toggle through down where my foot on the floor setting, or on the upper vent setting, or on the defrost setting. I don't like having to toggle these, because you have to take your head off the road too much, your eyes off the road, and look down and choose one of these, and it's a little bit too distracting. And I'm gonna show you something else I don't like. You notice this right here? So this is recirculate. So it's recirculating air because it's blowing down on the floor registers. When I hit this, now it's blowing here, out of these vents, and it change it to recirculate, and it changes it on its own. It's the only car I've ever seen that does that. Most cars will go, when you put them on defrost, they will go on it starts pulling air from outside on this setting when you go to defrost. That's kind of normal on some cars, but this one does it even when you switch just to these vents here. It starts recirculating air, and it just does it, and you can't just lock it. For me, I never ever want my car pulling air from outside the car. I always want it to recirculate the air, except in a defrost setting, but I want to be able to change that myself. I just don't like how this car changes this so much. It's the only car I've ever seen that does that. You can just see how that light, you know, how it's switching between those on its on. I guess you can see it in the camera. Let me see if I can get it a little closer. You can see maybe. So you can see that orange amber light just by me changing where the vents are blowing, automatically changing that. And to me, that's just super annoying. I don't like it. I just want it to stay on that setting and be locked on that setting no matter what. If I want it to pull out from outside, even on a defrost setting, then okay, I'd let me do that. I just don't like how it manages that itself. It's so irritating. The reason I don't like mine to pull from outside the car is because I live out in the country, and there's deer carcasses everywhere, there's skunks, there's all kind of dead animals beside the road, and the last thing I want to do is be enjoying my Chick-fil-A sandwich and then get a whiff of some decaying carcass beside the road. It's so annoying. Just stay on this setting. Again, even if you maybe drive through a smoke